Hey guys, Bryce bringing you another episode of Darwin Kid Old School. Again, I do not own the rights to this book. I do not own the rights. If I remember where we left off, we were at, and I really don't want to imagine moving without baby wipes. So, let's start where we are. Dad says that when he was growing up, in the summertime, kids played outside all day until they got called home for dinner at night. Ding-a-ling, ding, ding, squeal, squirt, squirt, squirt. Well, that's pretty much the opposite of the way my summer went this year. I spent July and August at film camp, where all I did was watch movies in air-conditioned theater for 8 hours a day. The main reason I signed up for film camp is because I thought it was for people who are serious about movies like me. But I found out it was really just a place for where parents could dump their kids off for some cheap babysitting. The downside of spending that much time in a theater is at the end of the day, it took a half an hour for my eyes to adjust to the sunlight. The other reason I signed up for Phil is to get out of the house. Ever since we got a pet pig, it hasn't been a lot of fun being at home, especially not at dinner. For the record, I think it's a terrible idea letting a pig eat at the table. Because it's already thinks it's a human being. Sorry, guys. And the last thing we need is to think it's equal footing with the rest of us. Right after we got the pig, Mom thought it'd be fun to teach it some tricks. She would give the pig a cookie when it stood on its hind legs. Yay! But then the pig learned to walk like that, and it hasn't been on all fours ever since. To make matters worse, my little brother Manny put a pair of his shorts on the pig. So now it looks like we're living in a house with a Disney character. Mom used to take the pig outside, but after it started walking upright, decided it was too good for its leash. Mom was worried to have the pig right now. We never find it, so she got a call off one of those GPS tracking chips in it. But every time Mom put the collar off the pig, within 5 minutes it would be taken back off. And don't even ask me how the pig did that, since the pigs don't even have thumbs. So now the pig just comes and goes as it pleases, and who knows where it spends its time. What really stinks is that I have a curfew and the pig doesn't. Tick, tick, tick. Oh, so a pig doesn't have a curfew. Go, butcher. I think giving the pig too many purchases is a bad idea. One day when pigs will rule the world, and it will be all my family's fault for starting it all. I wouldn't really have an issue with the pig if it didn't interfere with my life, but I was late on the first day of school because it was hogging the bathroom. Come on! With the pig in the house, I was actually looking forward to school starting, but once I got there, I realized it was just the same old thing. And to be honest with you, I feel like I have been in middle school forever and ever. Well, you have been in middle school for 10 books. 10 books. I need to mix things up a little, or I was going to go crazy. So the first week of school, I volunteered for a homework buddies program. But the main reason I signed up was so I could skip third period, which is music class with Mrs. Granzano. To give you an idea of how long Mrs. Granzano has been a music teacher, Dad had her when he was my age, and apparently spending 30 years teaching middle school students how to play musical instruments does something to a person. No, no, no! Last week I met my homework buddy. He's this kid named Drew, but I have no idea why he even signed up for the program though. Because he's one of those people who reads scientific junk journals and all that college textbooks for fun. Drew. The first time we got together, Drew showed me his homework, which was some coloring and word find. Drew said he didn't need any help, and then he asked to see my homework. I at least had an hour of math problems and geometry assignment that would take me another 2 hours. But Drew whipped through it and all of it in about 15 minutes. And he wasn't just fast, he was good. I turned the assignment the next day when I got him back from my teacher. I had perfect scores. You cheater! At first, I felt a little bad about getting help from a flirter, but then I realized that homework buddies are supposed to help each other out. So now whenever me and Frew get together, I just hand him a pile of assignments and let him do his thing. The way I see it, this is working out for everyone. Scribble, scribble, scribble. My only complaint about Frew is that sometimes he's too helpful. He's been getting bored of my homework, so he started making assignments to challenge himself. The other day he wrote on a paper attached to my regular homework for extra credit. And luckily, I checked it before handing it in. For a while, I was glad to be getting some homework help, but recently I've been thinking that since I'm the one who served Frew, I deserve some kind of credit if he goes on to be big things. You got the good idea, Greg. Hopefully this mic is working here. Okay, I'm just gonna test something. Hello, 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 hello. So I was just testing that to make sure. I was testing it to see if this works, so when I preview the video, I'll see if my headset's working. Or if it isn't, it'll just be recording to the camera. Well, and that was the end of the second part of chapter 1. Well, it really isn't chapters. That was the second part, so ultra naughty walnut